Hey, what's up? This is your girl, Nicole Reloaded. Loaded up with another video. Can't I can't sleep. I went to bed early. I wanted to come on here and just talk. I hope everybody's really getting some rest and not up late like this, like me. So forgive me if I ramble. I lately have had a lot on my mind. Depression is something that is real. It affects many, many people of all different ages. It can come in waves. It can be consistent. Or you can be triggered. Around this time of year, for me, I've noticed now that it's a trigger for me. My mom passed a couple of years ago, and her birthday is coming up on May 2nd. I miss her. So, I know that she's in a better place. I know that she is with God. Fighting depression is something that can be like a roller coaster. Sometimes you have your ups and you have your downs, and it can be bumpy. And when suffering with depression, if you suffer with chronic pain, the more you worry, the sadder you get, the worse the flares become in that person's body, the more weak you can become. It's not good because the serotonin and the dopamine is not flowing the way that it's supposed to be. And then, when you realize you're getting older and you look back and you say, wow, all the things that I have experienced in my life, the things that I haven't had the opportunity to experience yet because of life's hurdles. Be very thankful if you don't have health problems. Be very, very thankful. Don't take advantage of that. Take care of your body. You can do everything right, and then boom, like that, you can fall ill. One minute you can run a marathon, and then the next you need someone to carry you. You just never know. I'm not the type of person that needs a crowd of people around me. I believe it's because I am an only child. I don't need to have that look at me, look at me, look at me all the time. Now, please don't get it twisted. We do all want companionship. someone to hold you. But I was listening to a video of Uncle TimothyBlaine, where he was talking about loneliness. As for me, I've been single for a long while now, pretty much by choice. I mean, I have several men that I could actually date, but nobody has tickled my fancy in that sense. I don't, not out here in the desert. And then when trying long distance relationships, that can be something else, especially if if you're having kids and stuff. I mean, eventually you're going to want to relocate, aren't you? Good morning, viewers of you. How you doing, mama? Oh, thank you. You know me, girl. Only have 2 people in my life. It's hard over here for a pimp. I just came on just to ramble, basically pretty much to myself. I'm just talking about depression and about being single and, how I don't know how it affects me. Some days I have good days, some days I have bad days. I mean, I don't feel bad about, huh? Oh, wait, let me see. What did you say? Views of you say, I am good. What is your Cash App? My Cash App view is $ Nicole Reloaded. Oh, thank you, View, for asking. But I was just talking about like how I have feelings like about loneliness, and people think that something's wrong with me because I have chosen really not to date. I'm trying to get back into the groove of dating, eventually or whatever. Because, when you go through something or whatever, and you do wish that you had like somebody there, somebody to bounce off of, to communicate with, because there's nothing that can replace actual human touch. If anything, I miss a form of like intimacy, not sex, but a partner to sit with and cook with and chill with, go out and clean the yard and go for walks, those kind of things, not just sex. I would like to get it in, but how do you do it? View is the view, but see, you travel, you go out, you do things. And you can drive your butt off. I'm blind as a bat, girl. I get lost going to the corner store because I would get out and I really would love to go on a road trip, not too far, but like by myself, like hit up California or something, you know? And then after you're by yourself for so long, you get stuck in your ways. You get used to doing things the way that you do things. And it's like, now I have to meet his family, his friends. His religion might be different. He might have a big sexual appetite, might don't have a sexual appetite. Trying to find a connection with someone to build a friendship with a male, an African American male, one that you're actually attracted to, seems like a unrealistic expectation in this universe that I live in. Yeah, see, if I didn't, I still have a baby and, 2 teenagers. My oldest daughter, she's older and she does her thing, but, my baby girl, she needs me, so I ain't totally, free. I have her, but with this quarantine, it's not really too much to do, and I don't want to put my health at risk by, going out pretty much anywhere, and then I end up getting sick. So, been kind of trapped, you know what I'm saying, in the house, and then the mind is just like so powerful. It goes up and, up and down, up and down. And then, almond Almond Brown 09, she did a video called The Idle, about the idle mind. My mom used to say that. My dad says it to me too. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. And you know that devil will get up in your head and start playing in your head and telling you how you ain't good at this and how you a waste. And, you know, you got to rid your mind of those, you know, of those thoughts, you know. But I was, like I said, I was sitting up here, you know, I think it's been a lot heavier for me lately, viewers, because this is around the time my mom passed. And then, you know, my birthday's coming up. I'm getting older. I'm like, girl, you 40 and you supposed to be young, thick, and, you know, you got Irish and titties. You supposed to be having a man. You supposed to be upstairs having quarantine sex. I mean, it's kind of sad when your 7-year-old tells you, Mom, you need to date. You know, it's like, girl, go sit down. I'm all right. You know, it wouldn't be wrong to have somebody to, you know, like a male friend. But I try to tell people out here in Vegas, it's hard to date. The men are quick, fast, in a hurry. They want to hurry up and hit it to see if it's good to even deal with you. They're not, a lot of them are not gentlemen. Like, you know, they looking for women to take care of them. A lot of the men I meet don't even have driver's license. They don't got nowhere to stay. And it's just like, I'm not doing that. No. You know, and then the ones that are, you know, I guess people would consider as very attractive, they want white women. They want Italian women. They want Puerto Rican women. They don't want thick African American females, you know. And if they do, they don't want a woman that has children. And then you leave the guy that is like, okay, I do want to date you, but I want kids. No, this is not my vagina is not meant to be popping out children like that, okay? I have 4. I don't want to have any more children. So I meet a lot of men actually that want to have kids, and I have to turn them down. No. You know, I said, well, okay, we can have a baby if you get a surrogate. So I hope you got $50,000 to $100,000. Then that means you ain't going nowhere. And if you do, you got money to take care of me and the baby. Okay. But I wanted to play this video by Uncle Timothy Blaine. It's one of my favorite videos of his. Shout out to Uncle Tim. I'm sure he won't mind. Oh, I don't know if he got my email yet. Okay, this is a very older video, so this ain't gonna tap into it. So I'm gonna play it. It's called, oh shit, I didn't just skip it. Hold on. It's called Being Single, Loving on Yourself by Yourself.
Hey, YouTube. Well, still feeling a little somber.
Uh-oh,
shit. I think I want to talk a little bit about being alone, about being by yourself and being satisfied with being by yourself. So, I'll talk about myself. I always wanted to be in a relationship as a young person, right? As a young person, I always wanted to be with a lover. That was something I dreamed about since I was a preteen. But
yeah, viewers, this is this is Timothy Blaine. This was a video that he made. I think this video was last year. I remember when I saw this video, I cried my eyes out because he touched on a lot of things. I love Uncle Tim, and I'm thankful that he, allowed me to be a moderator of his. He is a very, very sweet man, very real and very raw. Shout out to Uncle Tim. He came by my channel and visited me the other day too. He might pop in here if he up. He'll come in and then be like, hi, and then he'll leave.
And when I got to Los Angeles, I was fortunate. At 20 years old, I met someone. We were together a year and a half or so. We had a very physical type relationship, so I certainly experienced that, where there's a lot of passion and sex and stuff as 20-year-old boys. And then when that fell apart after a year and a half, 2 years, I came across the person who would be the love of my life. So, and that relationship was off and on. We lived together 3 years. We were separated, and then we were together We were separated for 7 years, still friends, but not together. And then for the last 2 years of his life, we were back together again. And I thought, I always assumed that after I got off dope and I got clean, I would meet someone, you know, for the next phase of my life. I would share my life with someone. It's always what I wanted, right? But what I've discovered is that might not happen. It might just be, at this point, it probably is that I'll be alone for the rest of my life. I'm 61 years old. I mean, if it was going to happen, it should have happened by now.
You know, Uncle Tim says that, you know, he's 60 years old. So he's 60. Well, yeah, this video is a couple of years old. And he feels like that. I'm only 39, and I feel like I might end up being alone for the rest of my life. But I have prepared myself mentally for that. I don't know if that's crazy, but I told God, if you don't send me a husband, I'm okay with that. You know, I'm okay. I think.
Anyway, what I'm saying is, you have to come to the realization it is okay to be alone, to be single. For gay people especially, it's a very high percentage of us end up not in long-term relationships as we get older. I'm sorry, it's just a fact. It's not as much as I thought, because I always assumed that the gay life just, you know, there was 2 or 3 year relationships was about all you could hope for. What I discovered when I started going to places like churches and things outside of the bar life, there were lots and lots of people who live in long-term relationships. And this is long before there was any marriage. We couldn't be married, but people were staying together for 30, 40 years. The lesbians even longer. You get what I'm saying? But, so it's not the impossible dream to be with somebody. What I've discovered is, though, you got to accept where you're at, how you are. You know, one of the things that came up for me when I was mulling over the situation with Ty, his partners, Corey, Mike, it seemed like Ty had to be with somebody. We don't know.
Do you remember Ty? For y'all that's going to be listening on the replay, Ty Couture, God rest his soul, he ended up, unfortunately, committing suicide. There are some people, I know some people, they can't be alone in a relationship. They just, I mean, they have to be in a relationship with someone. If they're not in a relationship with someone, they're not complete. Their life is all discombobulated. I know people that go from one relationship, maybe take a 30-day break, and boom, they're right back in a serious relationship, moving in with someone, and they end up being with the person for many years. And then when they get out that relationship, they might party and, you know, for a year, and then they end up getting with another person and move in with them, and they're with them for many years. I know several people that do that, to where they've never taken the time to date and love themselves. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anybody else? Can I get an amen, RuPaul?
Oh, what his situation was, or what his depression was about at this particular incident that took him out. But it did seem that it was very important for him to be in a relationship. So he took it very hard being single. And I don't think he waited very long between these relationships. It was like he broke up with one after a long period and immediately got involved with somebody else. And I've seen this before. I know people who, if they break up with someone, it's only a month, 2 months, that they're with somebody again. Another person. Whether the relationship is good or bad, whether they're just kidding themselves, or only that person will know. But what we do know is they've never been alone. So I think the blessing is to be able to be alone and to have contentment. Now, there are benefits to having someone to love you, care about you, bring you presents, encourage you, push you up, buy things together with, and all this kind of. There are benefits to that, to having a loving relationship. But there are also.
Good morning, Chopper Dog. Go, Chopper. Hey, Chopper Dog. Hey, Chopper. Hey, Chopper Dog. Good morning, baby. Just talking about being single, depression, chronic pain, that kind of stuff. Thank you for sticking with me, View. View like, damn, I feel bad for Nicole. Let me hang in with her. Okay, we're listening to TimothyBlaine. The video is named One Being Single, Loving on Yourself.
There's a downside of all that. And I personally, I don't know if I would even be willing to deal with the downside anymore. Because at my age, I don't think I'm ready to argue with anybody anymore. I don't want to be apprehensive about coming home anymore. I don't want to worry about somebody cheating, which is a big thing, of course. Not trusting a person. I don't have the arguments left in me. When me and my partners, particularly when they were coming to an end, all that arguing and fighting and so forth, I don't think I have the strength for that anymore.
I can agree with Uncle TimothyBlaine on that one. Touche. I don't think that I have the strength nor the will to get into a relationship and it ends and to argue and fight. Unfortunately, my experiences with relationships when they end, instead of being able to walk away, a person has to end up being very nasty, wants to get volatile. Now we in court, and it's all this bullshit, and it mentally drains you, So even just the thought of that, maybe it's fear, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just using some common sense. Good morning, K-Love. I love you. Okay, View said, View said, nope, I'm unboxing some stuff and writing. I usually listen in the bushes. Oh, thank you, View. I love you. Good morning, Kayla.
So what I'm realizing now, that it is a blessing that I'm able to be by myself and be okay. Does loneliness happen? Yeah, it comes. Sometimes I try to think of when was the last time I felt lonely. And sometimes I have to think back, it was about 5 months ago, I remember I had those couple of days. In 5 months, a couple of days, that ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? The longer you live by yourself, the easier it is to be by yourself. A lot of it is just acceptance, I'm still, you continue to hope there's a possibility kind of thing. But it's not likely. I understand that. So I guess what I'm trying to say with this thing is, people, learn to enjoy your own company. Accept that you may very well not be with somebody. Going from partner to partner to partner to partner, just to be disappointed. People you basically don't know, you call yourself a lover after a couple of weeks. It's dangerous to your soul, to your spirit. You feel like a failure because you can't make these relationships work. And you're forcing yourself to be in love with somebody when it's not really love. You just don't want to be alone. So, I'm not saying that was the situation with Ty. As I said before, he did struggle with suicidal ideology. In other words, he would go to that dark place very easily. Or he would think about that. See, most people, like me, I've never thought about it. It never occurs to me to end it, kind of thing. I've contemplated, well, if I got very, very sick, if I had terminal illness, if I had a cancer or something that wasn't going to be treated, that was causing me a tremendous amount of pain, then I can't say that I wouldn't want to do that. But as far as living, I've learned to accept my circumstance, whatever it is, right? It's important. It's important to do that. To be able to be by yourself and be okay. Find things you enjoy. Find hobbies. Love comes when you're not looking for it. Going out there husband hunting, just hanging a husband suit on somebody, it's usually going to end up in heartbreak, and a lot of times it's going to be yours. You don't want somebody who's there for any other reason other than they love you. You don't want nobody there to clout you. And I'm not saying anybody is. I'm just saying you don't want anybody with you who you're never sure of why they're with you. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Good friendships. A dog helps. Believe it or not, a dog does help, don't it, baby?
He telling the truth about having a dog. That does help. Girl, I know I went husband hunting and I ended up in a divorce. Okay.
Something to be responsible for. That helps. That's why single people, they have dogs, they have pets. Something to care for, take care of. Something is dependent on you. You can get a lot of that from an animal. You don't got to take on all the baggage, but you have to buy all the food. Right, baby? I'm rambling, but I did want to speak about that. Loneliness comes and it goes. It's not an ongoing thing. I met tons of people in my lifetime who are just hopping from one person to the next person, and every time they're saying that this is the person, they really feel like they're in a relationship. Especially with young people, until 2 months later, they're not in there. Then they want another relationship, and then they feel like they're in a relationship again, and then that fails in 3 or 4 months. Then they want another one. But it's never. You don't have the honesty to say, I like messing around. I like meeting different guys. It's always, this is going to be it. What a horrible way to live. You don't need nobody else to fix you. The unfortunate reality is, and I think, gay people have a hard time with this thing. But I've noticed that a lot of women, and I just speak about women that I know, a lot of black women, kind of face the same thing. Many, many times. Even when you have children and so forth, you set up families and so forth. A lot of times the marriages don't work. They don't work. And you're stuck by yourself.
Yep.
Fortunately for you, you can have children, you can have family without him. But sometimes peace of mind is just as valuable as a relationship. Peace.
See, now this is the part where I listened to Uncle Tim speaking that made me cry, because he is 100% telling the truth. There is nothing like a peace of mind. Nothing. I would trade a peace of mind than to have some good dick. I'm sorry. Along a relationship that's filled with a whole bunch of bull crap. I need peace. I don't know for anybody else, but
Come home. It's peaceful. It's nothing to upset you. Nothing for you to worry about another person. Nothing for you to try to make something that it isn't. No trying to fix somebody up and make them right. A good relationship, yes. I think most of us want that. A good relationship. But a bad relationship, which is what a lot of people end up stuck in, or feel that they're stuck in, and are being abused in, it's not worth it. In my opinion, it's just not worth it. Find peace within yourself. And if God decides that it's time for you to be with somebody else, then he'll let that happen for you, or make it happen for you. But you should be okay whether it happens or not.
amen.
You should find happiness whether you find somebody or not. I've accepted, even though as a young person I always wanted to be in a relationship, like most people. I accepted a long time ago. Now I'm 61, but I accepted this around 40. It wasn't going to happen. There's a good chance that it wasn't going to happen. Well, now it's a probability that it's not going to happen. Right? I'm not going to go into something just to be in a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's easier for young people because you're able to grow together. You have flaws, of course, you're young, but you're able to grow together to connect much easier, to accept a lot more than we would accept as older people. But as you get older, the more you become set in your own ways, and you don't have that flexibility where you're going to deal with a lot of foolishness, a lot of arguing. It just gets harder. So if you're in a relationship, yeah, give it all you got. Make it work, make it happen best you can. Tell you one thing though, I don't know who said this, that love never dies, but it really is the truth. My partner, the person that I loved, called the love of my life, he died when I was 32. I'm 61, that's 30 years, so just about. Almost 30 years, he's been gone. I think about him every day. That one person. Of the few relationships that I had, small, insignificant relationships I had, nothing really held. The one time I was in love, it's still there. It's still there, so you make it work if you can. Work hard at it. But if it fails, that doesn't mean you fail. Right? Just food for thought. Just want people to be healthy. Healthy. Let me show you my dog, my love. Come here, baby.
And of course, Uncle Timothy shows us his cute little dog. I believe that. Let me see if that's Sweeney, because he had a dog that passed away.
Come here.
Let me see.
Oh, this is what you need. Get your face over here. Look in the camera, baby. Come on, you never look in the camera.
That's Sweeney. That is Sweeney. Yep. I can say that, I've been in love with being in love, I'm not saying that. I mean, when I was with my ex-husband, I loved him, but there was one guy who was really infatuated with him. I think it was more infatuation. But there was two guys I really did love very much. But, he's married now. We were very young, but he was so sweet. He was the sweetest guy. I would love to meet a gentleman like how he was even when he was young. Very respectful, well-mannered, good temperament, law-abiding citizen, sexy, chocolate, beautiful teeth, funny, just a perfect package. We were just too young. I went back to look for him too. He had relocated and went to a complete different state. And I wrote letter after letter. And I finally found him years afterwards, after I had kids. And he said that he came back to look for me several times, and nobody would tell him where I was. I was still in Las Vegas. I wasn't that far away from him. And when he went back to where he lived, unfortunately, he ended up getting locked up. So every time I written him a letter, the address that it went to, the two addresses that I did find on him, they would put return to sender, not here. And I would still try. And one day I got on Facebook or MySpace or something like that, and I found him. And he said, I need to come and see you. I guess he needed some closure too. And I thought in my mind, if he's going to come and see me after all these years, he must still, love me, right? And when he came to see me, he was very angry with me. How I turned my back on him. How dare I didn't come and look for him. I showed him the letters. He said, no, you didn't look hard enough. I got in fight in jails about being in love with you. I'm like, well, what was I supposed to do? Eventually, wasn't I supposed to move on with my life? I couldn't find you. I couldn't find him. I tried to fight him. I assumed that he was in the military. And anyway, you know, he looked at my kids. He had tears in his eyes. And, you know, I was like, well, you know, we can always be friends. You know, I don't know if we could even start again. It's been such a gap. I mean, I was willing to definitely, because he was so amazing. He was such an amazing guy, but you can tell that he definitely had changed. Prison had changed him. He went to prison for something that he didn't do. Hanging around the wrong crowd. And then I believe he turned like Muslim or something like that. So, and he just stared, especially at my oldest daughter. Maybe in his mind, he, you know, was like, maybe she could be mine, but I don't understood how he could have thought she could have been his. But, you know, and he just hugged me and kissed me and stuff like that. And then when he got back on the road and called me, he cussed me smooth out. He blamed me for not being able to find him. And I couldn't get around into his head, apologize enough that it wasn't my fault, you know, that I would do anything in the world to fix it. And probably a few months later, he met this woman and he married her, and now they're happily married. So God bless him in his, you know, God bless him and his wife. But that was the love of my life. So, yes, he was. So, anyway, you guys, I just wanted to come on here and just talk for a little bit. Thank you, Viewers The View, for hanging out with me, Chupper Dog, K-Love, and whoever else is in the bushes. I'm going to go run these YouTube streets until I can fall asleep. I have to get up and homeschool my daughter. If something else comes on my mind, maybe I will come back. I am thinking about doing a video about some things that have been going on in the YouTube streets. They're they're very controversial. So, if anybody is listening after this video is over, if you would like for me to do these videos, y'all know what's going on in the streets that's really controversial right now. If you would like for me to talk about it, just let me know. Anyway, remember, through God, all things are possible to those who believe, as long as you're willing to receive what God has for you. Don't give up.